Khalil, thank you for your commentary on our readings that deal with audiences for this week in Media Studies, Research and Design. And as I was listening through your spoken word comments a couple of times, I feel like two questions that emerge from listening have to do with questioning why we're shifting towards smaller, more concentrated audiences. And when I say we, I mean programmers, marketers, and so on. And it does break down to some key areas. The more media we have, and we have more media than ever, right? The more fragmented the audiences or the mass audience becomes, okay? And so, take for example, radio was the dominant medium alongside newspapers. And then we had the birth of television, and television sort of supplants radio. Well, radio hangs on, but it then kind of moves into a lower position. And so you have newspaper, radio, television, and then let's not forget, along the same timeline, after radio, but before television, you've got film as a mass medium in the U.S. and in U.S. sort of cultural history, and really in a global sense, these mediums have increasing and decreasing availabilities, but. Anyway, fast forward 50, 60 years, 70 years, you have the internet changing the way we consume media, we think about media, and already before that, you had, even within singular mediums, television, for example, fragmenting when there was the original broadcast networks that you would typically get through an antenna, but then you have the advent of a satellite dish, cable television, and these continue to grow and grow. They add more channels, and so when something gets so large and then it starts to subdivide, well, guess what it's doing? It's giving more choice, but it's fragmenting those audiences because the audience is finding the little pieces of programming they're most interested in. And so what does that do for us then? Well, it no longer makes sense fiscally, financially, to pay X number of dollars for a Wrigley's Spearmint Gum commercial during, the most popular sitcom on a broadcast television network, The gum companies aren't profiting at that level, so they definitely can't be paying that kind of money to be advertised during that spot. And so only the types of products that have urgency or the kind of monetary generation can afford to advertise in those places. And so then what do? If your product's a little bit smaller, your company's a little bit smaller, you go to smaller, we call it like lesser viewed programming. And then you would plug in those types of slots. Or, and this gets at your second question, what is up with this 18 to 49 demographic that gets brought up across all of our texts at some point? But this is recognized as the key demographic, 18 to 49, and sometimes even narrower, 18 to 39. Sometimes you'll even see 25 to 39. And this has everything to do with consumer power, right? Let's think about it. Anyone under the age of 18 is not legally an adult, and so they're not working all the time. They may have some disposable income from parents, but a ton of them do not, all right? They don't have credit cards. They don't have debt the way that adults can acquire debt, build up debt. And so, 18 to 49 is that age bracket where people are spending the most money and buying up the most commodities, all right? So after 49, life expectancy starts to get spotty across, age, different demographic pieces of data, all right? Income starts to kind of decline at a certain point in time or just plateau. And so that 18 to 49 is the sweet spot for people looking to spend money, all right, even if they don't know they're looking to spend money. And it's a little bit behind the key demo question you're asking there. And as we have more types of entertainment, more channels, more mediums, more platforms with which we're consuming media, it's going to further fragment and separate our audiences. One person can go over here and watch their favorite programming, and then someone else go way over here and stream their favorite sports team. And so you're going to naturally have that division create a need for smaller, more focused campaigns, right, for that niche audience. Thanks.